I am not a Bible scholar by any stretch, so I'm going to paraphrase a story, and this is like the grunt version of something from the book of John, and you'll have to find it yourself. Okay, but the basic story goes like this. Jesus is giving a sermon and a talk. He's got a bunch of people there, okay, maybe let's say a couple hundred, and he says something like, you must eat my flesh and drink my blood in order to have eternal life. Sounds very cannibalistic, doesn't it? So everyone that was there was like, what are you talking about, dude? Right? And then he repeated himself, which he usually doesn't do, okay, if you follow Bible stories. And then all those people were kind of like, oh, that's weird. Yeah, I'm out. Okay, and they left. And what was left over were some of what we know as the apostles today, and you know, they stayed, and they were kind of like, I'm staying because I don't know where else to go. Now, this isn't going to be a discussion about Catholicism, Orthodox beliefs of transubstantiation versus, you know, Reformation ideas of that sort of thing, and that's not the point, okay? The point is this. We know in religious, you know, writings and stuff as Jesus being a martyr, and being one of the most self-sacrificing person to have ever walked, you know, the earth. That's what Christians believe that, and a lot of people, even who aren't Christian, believe that he was definitely a martyr and sacrificed himself. But what you'll note is that he didn't sacrifice himself for one BPD narcissistic chick, okay, who was sucking his life away. That wasn't what he did. He didn't sacrifice, you know, himself for, if you want to do a female version of this, an abusive male that he's trying to change and that he follows around and tries to fix all day long and puts his energy into that and fails to put his energy into his purpose, his task, and his mission, right? He didn't go chasing after those couple hundred people saying, wait, hold on, don't leave yet. Let me re-explain it. Let me make this more palatable. He let them go, okay? And those that stayed, stayed. Jesus had a great way in the Bible of letting toxic people and drop out of his life and drop out of his orbit. You know what I mean? Because he had a bigger mission in those stories. He had a greater and bigger mission, right? And so he couldn't deal with or waste time with toxic individuals who were unwilling to change or transform their thinking and their actions in order to follow him. Okay, he left that door open, but he moved on his purpose. Now, I use this story as an example because I just did a video and we've established that it's not good to have toxic people in your life, right? Yet, many of you are still going to do it. You're still going to chase after that crazy, narcissistic, idiot chick or that abusive guy, right? You're still going to chase that and try to remedy that, look for closure, try to help them because, you know, they're so broken and they're so this, they're that. And, well, we need to, you know, we don't want to abandon them. We want to be, you know, we want to be nice, good people, right? You're a good person, yada, 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 okay? You won't win this argument to say that you're a better person than Jesus in my mind, all right? And this is whether you're an atheist or a Christian, you're not going to win that argument, okay? And yet, again, Jesus didn't have a problem letting toxic people, you know, and people who just didn't want to follow him, in fact, drop out of his life. So what you're doing is not righteous or good or anything like that. What you're doing is actually very, very wrong. And the reason why it's wrong is because you have a greater purpose on this earth. Not only that, is you have people that care about you and love you. You also have people that need you. You have other people that would be affected by your efforts and your time and that need it. And that would take your efforts and time and not abuse it and spin it around and destroy themselves anyway, okay? I used to have a real problem cutting people out because And it's not like I just cut people out, but I mean, I had a real problem, just more, I should say, letting people go, because I would see how badly they were hurting themselves. And I'd want to fix them, I'd want to change them. I mean, hell, I'm a coach, so obviously I like helping people, right? But for whatever reason, whether you have some Christian martyrdom flawed ideology in your head, whether you are a chick who needs to validate herself by trying to change some abusive guy, whether you are a dude who seeks validation from some narcissistic BPD chick and, you know, wants to, you know, your personal identity is wrapped up in her acceptance and opinion, whatever it may be, sacrificing yourself for a toxic person is morally wrong. Okay? Because again, you are put here for a reason. I believe that anyway. You are put here to affect people and to change and affect yourself and affect others in the best way possible. You only have a finite amount of energy on a 24-hour, 48-hour, week-to-week basis. If you take that energy and time and you don't value it and put it towards your family, your kids, your parents, your siblings, your co-workers, people that are in need, people that need charity, people that could use your freaking help, right? And who wouldn't abuse that opportunity but would take that help and do something better with it. If you're putting energy into a toxic person, that is energy and time that you cannot afford to put into these other people that need you. And that, my friends, is an immoral thing. It is not a moral thing to do. That is immoral, okay? And so you need to value your time, your energy, and your efforts, and understand that people want that and need that from you. And by you putting it into somebody who is unwilling to help or change themselves, you are wasting it. You are wasting your life, and you're wasting your life that God or the universe, whichever you believe in, gave you. And you're wasting it you're literally supporting somebody to be more toxic, because a toxic person, whether they're clinically that way or just that way, is going to take your effort, time, and energy and use it to be more destructive and toxic to themselves and other people around them. Your efforts are actually hurting other people around you because of what you're doing. So you need to understand that. We got that previous video out of the way, and most people wouldn't disagree. Okay? Most people will nod their heads and go, yeah, I know having toxic people in my life isn't good. And then what you'll do is you'll continue to pine after this person that you're trying to date or be in a relationship with that doesn't value you, and that is only going to take your efforts and shit all over them and continue to do things to harm others and harm themselves with the energy and support and supply that you're giving them, even if it's just words of affirmation and accolades over a phone call. They're going to take that self-esteem boost and use it to destroy themselves and others. It is not even worth the time and effort of that phone call. Not that it's not worth it, but it's immoral for you to waste that energy on that person if they're not willing to help themselves. I fire clients. Okay, just so you know, I only have a finite amount, especially on a deployment in a combat zone. I only have a finite amount of people I can take on, and they already have to be flexible because I might not be able to make an appointment and might have to reschedule, right? So when someone wants one-on-one time with me, I fire people if they're not following my advice and my direction and using our sessions just to continue to propagate their own toxicity. All right, because I know that there's other people out there that need my help. I got to line up, and I don't have time for everybody. So I'm not going to waste it on someone who's unwilling to do what they need to do to fix their problems. I'm not just going to take their money every week and then let them continue to be toxic. And so just understand that, like, that's where I'm at from a coaching perspective. You need to be at that spot in your personal lives. Some of you are very codependent and very reliant on some flawed ideology that you're a bad person if you don't put your energy into somebody who's a shit show. So stop it, okay? You're hurting your own family, friends, and other people around you who need you. You're hurting yourself, but you don't care about that, or we wouldn't be having this discussion. And you're disregarding your God-given talents that you have. You're devaluing those things in your time by not putting it towards efforts that would have results that would be good for the world. Okay? Thanks for tuning in. I hope I got through to one of you. All right? Take care.